Now that is how you take care of business. Welcome back to Jags Japan, where we talk all things Jacksonville Jaguars, all things Japan, everything in between, and I'm just a guy. And today we're doing a post-game show where we're looking over the massive Jaguars win over the Tennessee Titans, 25-3, absolute butt whooping. Titans really had no shot in this game, and the Jaguars are able to keep pace in the AFC South, able to keep pace in the wild card race. This is a win. This is a game that the Jaguars needed to have, even though it's a game they wasn't a playoff game, anything like that. But in order to keep pace in this division, in this AFC wildcard race, they really needed to kind of take care of business against the Titans and really just show dominance. You know, if anything, just get out with a win. But the way they showed dominance on offense and defense, and even a little bit on special teams, which we'll get to later, great win by them. Really one of the first times this year that the Jaguars have actually, beat a team that they, should have beat, but not only beat them, but also show their dominance in that fashion. And I think that was really awesome to see. I think this was the best day by far on offense. Almost no mistakes. The only mistakes that we could really look at was the penalties. Jaguars are still getting killed by penalties. But when you look at the offensive production, you can see the absolute dominance. I mean, we're looking at Trevor Lawrence is probably his best game of this season in the Liam Cohen era. He not one time this game did he ever have the trademark Trevor Lawrence mistake. He didn't do that once this game. That was awesome to see. He went 16 for 27, 229 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and finally we can just look at a clean game by Trevor and say, all right, he's a reason why we won the game. He led the offense well, and no mistakes. So awesome for him. Running the ball was kind of nowhere to be found today. The Titans really honed in on stopping the run, but I think the Jaguars knew that, and I think they kind of came out firing. There were a few pretty good runs by Etienne and Tootin, but I feel like they always got called back for a penalty on a hold or something. Say what you will about the Titans, they do have a pretty good defensive line and pretty good at stopping the run. So I wasn't expecting a huge day by the rushing attack. I'm glad they got something going a few times, but this was all passing game all day, all passing game and all defense. And then when you look at the defense, I mean, they were able to hold Cam Ward, under 150 yards and really suffocate the entire Tennessee offense attack. No running game to really write home about, which the Jaguars are really good at stopping the run. So they really showed their prowess in that. And then the receiving game, I mean, Cam Ward is talented, but you can see why he's a rookie. You get a little pressure in his face. You do some interesting coverages in the back end, and they got no shot. I mean, their highest rated receiver today was their tight end Chico Conquo with 4 receptions for 29 yards. That just doesn't do it in the NFL. They only scored 3 points. They just had no shot today. Jaguars just dominated. All in all, exactly what you wanted to see from this team, from the Jaguars. Don't give us any reason for a letdown or for disappointment. Early on in the game, there was a little bit of worry there when the Jags, they got backed up by penalties. It was pretty quick. It wasn't a 3 and out, but it was a few first downs and a 3 and out. And then the Titans go down and run right down the field. I mean, we're looking at Tony Pollard getting, 7-yard run, 10-yard run, 5-yard run, all the way down the Jaguars' throat, and then thankfully stopping them and kicking a field goal. So it was 3-0 to start, but then 25 unanswered points. The defense kind of clamped down on that. The offense really got into good rhythms, especially in the passing game. Finally got to see some of those nice down the field throws, play action, and Trevor was on his game. The receivers were on their game, and absolute domination on all sides of the ball. Can't really say much, honestly, about this game, other than it was what I wanted the last few weeks to be against some of these backup quarterbacks. A nice put your feet up, relax, don't have to worry about any 19-point comeback win, and just a good win all around. It took care of business on the road, which is never easy to do, on the road, but the Titans are the worst team in the NFL for a reason, and the Jaguars just did what they had to do to win. And they didn't have to do anything crazy. They didn't have to do anything above themselves. They just played their game. limit the catastrophic mistakes. Now, they still made a ton of mistakes in the penalties, but limit the catastrophic mistakes, and then you can see how kind of efficient this offense can run. There was a little bit of a lull period, I think, in the second quarter. Jags got off to an early lead. I think it was 15-3. And then, I think there was maybe 4 possessions in a row where it was punt, 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 punt. But thankfully, they did get the ball back before the first half and had a great field goal drive, helped out by a few costly Titans penalties. And then after that, it was just kind of like, you just knew that the Titans had no shot coming back. And then once it was 18-3, and I believe the Jaguars had a pretty solid drive after that. In the third quarter, Jaguars come out with a 15-play, 71-yard touchdown drive, make it 25-3, and that was it. No other more scores the rest of the day. It was just punt, 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 and then the Titans going for it and getting turnovers on downs the rest of the day. So awesome plan by the defense. I loved how Campanile called that game. It started off a little rough at first, but I think they kind of adjusted, figured out how to stop the run, and then got in Cam Ward's head. No interceptions on the day, surprisingly. I thought towards the end of the game, I was like, okay, here comes a few picks or something to get the stats going, but never really happened. Cam Ward is pretty talented, and he doesn't give away the ball that often, which is something that's probably good about his game. But you could see it inaccurate almost all day, and was just really kind of put through the ringer by this Jags defense. Shout out to our D-line, who was missing a lot of players, which I want to talk about a little bit of the injury bug kind of catching up to the Jaguars. Already going into the day without Trayvon Walker, already going into the day without Arik Armstead, and of course we're still down Jordan Lewis, we're still down Eric Murray, or I think, did Jordan Lewis even play today? I actually don't think he did. Yeah, I think he was still out as well. So down a lot of crucial pieces in the defense and in the back end and in the front end too, but a lot of guys stepped up. BJ Green made some really good plays there. Antonio Johnson had a sack, or he got a fumble. I thought they counted it as a sack for him. But overall, 3 sacks on the day for the defense. 2 of them by Josh Hines Allen, 1 by Austin Johnson. Yeah, there it is. Austin Johnson had a sack fumble. But then a lot of guys making great plays. Also on Buster Brown, he makes some awesome tackles on the boundary there. Andrew Ringer had a pretty good day as well. Just defense, kicking butt all day. 3 points, tons of turnovers on downs, and really just kind of suffocating the entire Tennessee Titans offense. So I'd love to see that. Love to see that a lot. On the offensive side, Jacoby Myers, again, having an awesome day, 6 receptions, 90 yards, a touchdown, showing every bit why we traded assets for this guy, and showing every bit why we possibly should re-sign him after this year. I think he's shown enough already that he's the most consistent option on this team. Even with Brian Thomas coming back, he had a few good catches, 2 for 3 for 28 yards. Just kind of getting back in the mold, not doing anything too much. I'm glad that they stuck to that. And then Brendan Strange also getting a pretty solid play, three receptions for 45 yards and a touchdown. That second touchdown was beautiful. Loved the play design. Great ball by Trevor. Awesome touchdown. Of course, the concern here again is the injuries are mounting up. We had Walker Little leave with concussion, which he was having a pretty tough day already. He let up a terrible sack by Jihad Ward during that lull period where the Jags weren't really getting anything on offense. They had a hard time getting in kind of momentum because anytime we did get a good play, there'd be a penalty that would call back, or we'd get a sack because Jeffrey Simmons beats a double team up front, or the one play Walker Little lets Jihad Ward get around him on it and get a sack deep in the end zone. So that wasn't good to see. He was out for a concussion. Hopefully he can get back soon. Cole Van Lennon stepped in his place and did pretty well. So honestly, I don't think we're needing him to get back right away, but it does suck that when someone who we're paying that much money is not performing very well, and then also is also hurt. So hope he gets back good. And then the other thing that was really interesting, kind of concerning, was Parker Washington going out with a hip injury. It looked very weird. It was a non-contact. He was just returning a punt, and he just, it reminded me a little bit of, if you guys remember 2023 when Christian Kirk went down in the same week, right? I think this is week 13. This is the same week that it happened then, and that wasn't good to see. I remember Kirk going down, and then he was out for basically the rest of the year. So I really hope that Parker Washington's good to go. I hope he's not hurt that bad, because we really need him. He's definitely one of the most dependable targets on this team. But anyways, some injury news there. Hopefully it's not too bad. But the Jaguars get the win today. Huge win, dominating fashion. Love to see it. That's what they needed to do. It's a bad Titans team. You just got to take care of business, and they did. And the best part is that they took care of business on a day when the Texans actually beat the Colts 20-16. So that shakes up so much in the entire wild card, in the division race, everything. Because now the Jaguars are actually tied up at the top right now with the Colts for the division, and that makes next week's game just for everything. Actually, right now the Jaguars are actually number one in the AFC South. They actually hold I believe, is this the 3 seed right now? Yeah, the Jaguars are right now the 3 seed. Isn't that crazy? I actually didn't even realize that until just now. But the Jaguars are 8-4, Colts 8-4, Texans 7-5. So it does suck. It does hurt that the Texans are back in it. The Jaguars let it happen. They went 3-0 with Davis Mills, and then CJ Stroud comes back, and then they beat the Colts at the Colts too, which is huge. I believe that they play again in a few weeks, but we're starting to see cracks in the Colts. They've lost 2 in a row, and now they're going to Jacksonville, where they haven't won in 11 years. The Jaguars have it all in front of them. Not that they can. I don't think that they can, win 5 straight in a row. But if they roll off a win against the Colts, now that we have a 3-game win streak, they roll. If they were able to beat the Colts and take the driver's seat in the division at 9-4. With the Jets coming up, with the Titans coming up later again in the year, and then being able to play the Colts again, there's a real shot the Jaguars have the division. Now, the only thing is that they have this surging Texans team who's won 4 in a row now, out here at 7-5, with some pretty good tiebreakers, with a pretty good division record there at 4-1. It's going to be tough. It's going to be close, but right now for the Jaguars, they just have to take care of business, and they did today. And they, like I said, they keep pace. They actually leapfrog the Colts in the rankings, now winning the AFC South right now. But there's still a lot of football to be played. I mean, we've got 5 games left. Three of them I feel like are very winnable, with the Colts next week, with the Jets, and with the Titans. If they take care of business on that, they could be 11-6, and that might win the division. I'm not sure, but that could win the division, given how tough the Colts and the Texans' schedule is the rest of the way out. So good for the Jags. This is going to be a quicker episode, just because there's not much else to say about it. It's awesome. It's been a long Thanksgiving break. I don't have a beer out or anything. I think I've had enough. But I did want to get into our offensive and defensive player of the game. Offensive player of the game, you mentioned his name already, but I thought Jakobi Meyers played awesome, really establishing himself as the true number 1 target, number 1 wide receiver on this team. What we thought Brian Thomas Jr. would be, but this whole offense has completely evolved since they brought him in. I mean, this offense was really kind of lost and really only a run-first team, and then can't really do much in the passing game because of the injuries and because a lot of people underperforming. But Jakobi Meyers has really brought a shot to the arm to this offense, being that very reliable receiver over the middle, and he can do big plays too. He can do the speed sweep. He's completely eliminated the need for Dyami Brown on this team. I think he was inactive today, so that just shows what the Jaguars think of him now. He's not coming back next year, but they can take that money that maybe they were going to plan on bringing in a guy like Dyami Brown next year and give it to Meyers, because I think him with Parker Washington, if he's healthy, and then Brian Thomas Jr. coming back on the scene, I think can be a really dangerous offense. And extending him for next year, I mean, we're looking at when Travis Hunter comes back, with Brian Thomas still on his rookie deal and Parker Washington still there, we're looking at 4 receivers deep that can beat you in a myriad of ways and can really bring a lot of consistency to this offense. So Jakobi Meyers, awesome for him. 4 receptions, 90 yards, a touchdown, and really just the go-to guy all day. And especially with guys like Parker Washington, if he goes out for any extended period of time, guys like him are going to need to be called upon a lot more and need to step up. And I believe Jakobi Meyers will. Defensive player of the game, going Josh Hines-Allen. I thought he had a heck of a game. He just really dominated the tackles, both of them on the Titans. I mean, he was lining up everywhere. He really got the Max Crosby, Myles Garrett treatment where they were just lining him up everywhere and he was dominating his guy. I mean, I saw him beating the left tackle. I saw him beating the right tackle. Not even using that many moves, just bull rushing them and getting in the backfield and causing a lot of pressures on Cam Ward, and he got 2 sacks. So awesome for Josh Hines Allen, awesome for this defense. Obviously, that's kind of been up and down along with the team, but this defense really won the day. The offense did great too, but the defense, I mean, you hold a team to 3 points, how can you not give the defense all the credit in the world for that? And for keeping them, keeping the dominance on and suffocating the Titans when maybe the offense wasn't clicking on all cylinders kind of in the middle of that game. So awesome for them. Moving forward, huge game next week. I'm going to cover it in my preview on Tuesday of the Colts at home. Just quick thoughts on that. I mean, I need to watch the Texans-Colts game, see what happened there, why they lost at home. But I mean, we all know the Texans have an incredible defense. The Colts defense is pretty good too, but we know their offense has been the reason why they've been in games. So I'm curious to see, how they've been doing. I know Daniel Jones had like a fractured fibula and he was still playing with it. That's kind of crazy, but I'm curious to see how they're doing. Their whole game is Jonathan Taylor and Tyler Warren and big plays in the passing game. So if you can kind of limit them a little bit, I think the Jaguars can do pretty good against this defense. But it's the Colts at home. Weird, fluky things happen for them to lose all the time. So I'm definitely looking forward to that game. I think it's going to be a great game. Could decide the division. Who knows? We got a long way. But that's all I got for you today, guys. Enjoy this win. Enjoy a relaxing Jaguars win on a Sunday. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. And we're going into December with meaningful games. That's right. The Jacksonville Jaguars meaningful games in December to possibly get into the division, win the division, and possibly get into the playoffs. What more can you ask for? That's all for me for now. Thanks as always for watching. Stay tuned for more Jags Japan content. Go Jags, and I'll see you later.